Hello. Hi. How you doing? Hi. We're doing another pick a card. Today our theme, our big question is what is left to heal? What do you need to heal? Similar to the last pick a card, I was shuffled a deck to ask about quite a question, and that one, the Sun came out, and this one, Temperance came out. And Temperance is about balance, healing. Temperance comes after death and is supposed to represent the heaven aspect of the afterlife, the good, the balancing, the healing. So today we're going to discuss what do you need to heal? Or not even like what do you need to heal, but what needs to be healed, what's your healing process, anything in the terms of healing, it would come up. So if you feel like there's just something in your life that you need to focus on more or need your help in the healing journey, this is your pick a card reading, I guess. It could, fair warning, this could be a little bit heavy since of the subject matter. So keep that in mind. If you can't, if it's too much, then perhaps it's not meant for you. You know, if you feel like I'm just more triggering than actually helping in your healing process, just click away. Okay. So here we have 4 decks. We're doing 4 piles. I'm going to show you the Temperance card of each pile, and you decide which one you like, based on intuition, based on design, whatever you want. First, we have the Temperance of the Golden Path Tarot. Very pretty. The Golden Path has all the golden, it's the black and the gold. It's very pretty. Next we have is the Temperance card in the Dragon Age Inquisition official tarot deck. This is one of my favorite characters it's a game, so it's one of my favorite characters, and she's Temperance, so that makes sense. We have, that's pile 2. Pile 3, from a different game, Persona 4, the Temperance deck. I like this Temperance card because it's like it has all these different images representing balance. It almost represents like the 4 kind of like the 4 minor arcana a little bit. And the last one is the Brit's Third Eye Tarot, and this is the Temperance. Keep the light there. It's all about meditation and stuff. So you guys take a minute, breathe in, breathe out, find your center, go with your intuition, feel what you're guided to, and we're going to go and start the pile, starting with pile 1. So we're going to start with the Golden Path Tarot. Put everything aside. Yeah, there we go. Just clear out the air. Okay. So, hello. Pile number 1. This is your reading of what you need to heal, what's next in your healing process, anything you need to know about healing with the Golden Path Tarot. So, let's see what it says. Hello. Let's see. Let's see how many cards. I'll do 5. And we'll talk about it. Give me 5 cards for pile 1's healing journey. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Okay, I'm already cutting it. That's interesting. Okay, give me 5 cards. 2 of Cups. Relationships. 2 of Cups. Wow. Okay. Queen of Cups. High Priestess. Knight of Wands. Interesting. Oh, okay. 7 of Wands. Okay. Okay. Ace of Swords. Oh my goodness. Ace of Swords in the back of the deck. So, I mean, it could be a little bit hard to see, but this is the Ace of Swords. Yeah. because it's black, but you know, the gold trimming is very pretty when I put it up. So we got ourselves the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, what is the next? I think this is very clear cut in what it's trying to say. The next step of your healing journey does seem like a relationship. Yeah. Let me get some water and then, sorry, and then we'll go in it. Sorry. Okay. So, starting off with the Two of Cups. Obviously, Two of Cups is it's generally a beginning about two people, two parties, two entities coming together in union because they just seem like a perfect match. It seems to me that maybe perhaps you're this Queen of Cups energy, regardless of gender. I don't do the gender thing. But this Queen of Cups energy is coming to realization that what they need next in their journey is a relationship, regardless, whether it be friendship, whether it be love, whether it be passion, whether it be for spiritual reasons, whether it be for physical reasons. It's really up to you on where you are in your journey. And what I see is almost like the High Priestess energy. Sometimes the High Priestess energy is about, when you're doing tarot, it's sort of like a confirmation card, because High Priestess uses her intuition and third eye and her psychic abilities to connect to information that isn't readily available. So sometimes when you're doing tarot, when you get the High Priestess, it's mean like, this is what's going to happen. It's sort of like, she's a fortune teller. So the High Priestess here is pretty much indicating that this Knight of Wands energy, this passionate, fiery, moving forward energy, is coming in. They have their eyes on this Queen of Cups, and that potentially could mean a relationship. Pretty simple. The healing aspect here comes with this Seven of Wands energy, in that Seven of Wands is the energy of keeping your guard up, not letting things in, trying to be alone. So I feel like what you probably need to do next is that this Knight of Wands energy is probably going to trigger a sort of response out of you, in the sense of like, you're probably going to be on the defensive, you're probably going to be put your walls up and stuff like that. But this Two of Cups energy is really telling you that it's like, no, this should go to fruition. So, yeah. Back of the deck. Let's see. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, we're dealing with. So under the Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords is about communication. Again, that's confirming that there is going to be this contact with somebody or something that's going to potentially be a good relationship, a good beginning. But under that is the Five of Pentacles, which is about feeling unworthy, feeling like you're having not enough, feeling like abandoned. So obviously what's next in your healing journey is that perhaps you were in this mindset that you probably are ready for another relationship, but you still have hang-ups, traumas, triggers, old programmings, whatever, however you see it, that does come up in terms of relationships, and the next connection is going to bring it up again. And sometimes this stuff comes up again simply for you to be aware of it, so you could work on it in the moment and then not let it be a roadblock, and then you move on. Five of Pentacles, traditionally has like a family outside of a church in the cold and its feeling of abandoned. But the lesson about the Five of Pentacles is that they could easily just go into the church. So all this is saying is that the common themes here about your healing process is that you still have like some sort of kind of like, it's sort of like the way that I could sense is like a trigger or something, like you think you're okay, but then like somebody who seems really good comes into your life, they communicate with you, maybe they message you on like social media, and your immediate response is either you're not good enough or to put up your walls. So I just see that you need to, this situation that potentially is going to come in your future is supposed to bring you awareness to such a trigger and for you to work on it. How do you work on it? I mean, like with this Queen of Cups energy, I get the sense that it's like you have been working on it. The Queen of Cups is not a novice when it comes to matters of the heart. So you probably have gone on your journeys. You probably have gone on your retreats, your meditation, your therapy. So you probably are well aware of you. And maybe this Seven of Wands is going to catch you off guard. And it's like, oh, I thought I worked on this. In reality, it's like, okay, you're going to say, oh, I thought I worked on this. But since you are aware, you're probably like, well, maybe this is still something I need to work on. And you're going to work on it, whether it be like opening up to this new person, this Knight of Wands. I don't know if it's a new person. Two of Cups implies that's a new person because Two of Cups is a beginning card. So that's potential. But either way, it seems your next step on your healing journey is it almost feels like a little test to figure out, like, are you truly over with your boundaries, with your walls, with your barriers that keep people away? And realizing that sometimes the way to continue forward is stop being alone and seeking out help, like with the Five of Pentacles, because after the Five of Pentacles is the Six of Pentacles, which is reciprocity. So, as you could meditate and work on yourself all this time, but you can't really put it to the test until you actually reach across the aisle and use it on a potential partner, on a friendship, on anything like that. So it's sort of like taking what you've learned into a more practical sense. So yeah, it seems, it doesn't seem very heavy, I'll give you that. And it seems very lighthearted. It seems very sweet. It could potentially lead to a serious relationship with that Two of Cups energy. So I'm happy. And this is a pretty good one. I look forward to your resolve. And I really hope that you find the courage to understand that these barriers come from trauma and other kind of issues. And you're just gonna, like, knock it out of the park. Okay. So, that's that. Okay. Pile number 2. Let me get the crystal. Pile number 2. With the Dragon Age Inquisition. Let's see what you guys gotta say. What is next on pile 2, Healing Journey? Oop, that was a little messy. This was the card that came up that initiated this reading, so let's see what comes up for you guys. Okay, weird way to cut it, but I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, okay, already we got the World. Okay. Page of Cups. Five of Swords. Okay. That's 2. 3 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Back of the deck is Judgment. Okay. Under Judgment, we have the Hierophant. Okay. I don't know why, and maybe I have to dive in more when I look at the cards, but the immediate thing is like, it says, the immediate thought that came up to mind is like, you haven't forgiven something yet. Don't know. Forgiveness. Okay. Judgment could be saying that you've been holding on to something for a while, and it's kind of keeps coming up in your life, and you're kind of wondering, like, why does it keep up? But like, Judgment keeps happening because this is the last thing you need to get over for your completion, for you to graduate the class. That's what Judgment's all about. Yeah. I mean, with the Hierophant under it, I would say, like, rely on your teachings. Excuse me. And use that in order to, like, get over this forgiveness thing. Yeah. The energy's different. Piles 1 energy was a lot more, like, giddy. This is a lot more heavy. Sorry. I don't want to use language that could probably mean, like, oh, it's different. But anyways. So, we have the World, Page of Cups, 5 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Coins, 9 of Staves. I feel like there was a situation with this 5 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Staves that is still holding you back. I'm seeing you as this Page of Cups energy here. Page of Cups is sort of like, maybe this was when you were still a student or something like that, and you had very high hopes for a certain, maybe it was a friend group or a team or a project, and it just didn't work out. And because of that, there's a little bit of a jadedness, a realization that it's better off to be alone than to work collaboratively with others. So 3 of Pentacles is about camaraderie, teamwork, friendship, coming together for a common goal. But it is surrounded by these 2 cards. 5 of Swords usually is associated with not defeat, because 5 of Swords, the traditional image is like it's after a fight and one person takes their swords and another person takes their swords and they go their separate ways. It's sort of like, it's the idea of like folding your hand and just taking the loss and moving on. I don't know, this guy got all these arrows. Maybe it's best to walk away from him, you know? And then the 9 of Wands is this energy of like, is it not like the 7 of Wands? Because the 7 of Wands is an active approach to push people away. Well, the 9 of Wands is almost like a duty or responsibility to stay in the same place and to see it through to the end. But it is also associated with exhaustion and stuff like that. So I'm associating this whole thing with like, there could have been a falling out almost that you felt like you stuck in too long with a certain group, certain friend group, certain project, that it really drained you. And that in the end of the day, it didn't really come to anything good or anything fruitful. And that you guys just cut your ties and went your separate ways. And it still kind of holds on to you. It's still like, it really painted your view on friendships, on relationships, on productivity, on career stuff. It just did a lot. I don't know. This is all just flowing in. I don't know what this is about. But, and I feel like you're still holding on to it. This Judgment card is like, maybe this is reminding you about other relationships that you've had with other people. Or maybe you feel like you keep doing the same kind of relationship, that you come together with people, but it just feels like you try your best to keep it together. It really doesn't stick that long, and then you kind of just go your separate ways. Yeah. It sounds tough. And it sounds like part of you, with the 5 of Swords, there's a sense of resentment in that. 5 of Swords is not a good card. It's like, you're not leaving on good terms. You're leaving on, it's like, it's almost like you had to cut it off because it was just like, you couldn't handle it anymore. So 5 of Swords does seem like there's a little bit resentment in this situation, to the point that you kind of like, you just don't know. You're just like, it probably still lingers. You probably are reminded with other friend groups. It probably not even, with the fact that you're represented by a Page of Cups over here, this is still young. You're not very much like aware of it. You're very much ebb and flow based on your vibe. But this is energy that kind of like stayed on you. Like if this was like a queen or a king, I would say that you have the capability to overcome this. But I feel like you still have a lot to go through in order to completely understand how this falling out affected you. And I feel like there's a deeper kind of like journey that you need to go through in order to overcome and forgive whatever happened to you. But when you do, comes this world card. Once you learn to truly forgive this situation, you probably were able to just let it go and move on to the next chapter of life. It's interesting. There's the Three of Pentacles, then the Three of Cups. Yeah, it's three because three. There's a lot of like compared to the other threes, it could have been like betrayal or cheating or anything like that. But the Three of Pentacles, it just has a connotation of like co-workers or not reciprocity, but there was like a I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It was like friends at work is generally the vibe about it. So it wasn't that like close, but still it was disappointing at the end. I don't know. It seems very specific, but it could also be like friends or something like that, or a group of people, or maybe even a community. For some of you, let me have a drink of water. Sorry. Yeah, and you feel like you have to stick it out, even though it's not really like you feel like they're not doing their part, and maybe you feel like you go through this cycle over and over again. So, my advice, because in the last Six of Swords, move on. Okay. Because the last pile, was pretty much like they were on the right track. But this one, I feel like you do need some sort of guidance a little. And with the Six of Swords under this Hierophant, and it's about connecting to traditional energy. Yeah. Sometimes it's like the best. Oh, wow. Well, Six of Swords and Death in the Hierophant. I think it's almost as like part of the reason why you cling on to this relationship is because of the Hierophant. Tarot lesson. The journey of the Fool really reaches its head because the Fool learns that the Hierophant's method of teaching, because the Hierophant's the teacher, the traditional old guy, that old rule ways, wasn't the path to enlightenment. He learns that in the Hermit. But when he confronts the society as a whole about like the teachings that I was taught were not good enough, he is pretty much killed via the Hanged Man. And with the Hangman, because it's Hangman, then Death, and then Temperance and the Devil. So it's like being hanged, you die, and then you go to heaven and then hell. It's a lot more complicated than that, but the idea behind it is that you had to release your old mentality, your old ways, in order to fully release your karmic ties to the world and be able to finally reach enlightenment. So to bring it down to earth, it's like perhaps you feel like you have to stick it out with your community, with your friend group, with this sort of group because of tradition. Maybe because you guys are the same ethnicity, maybe you guys are the same, like, from same religion, and you feel like because of that, you have to stick it out. When in reality, in order to overcome it, you're going to have to kind of like cut ties completely and kind of like go it alone for a bit. Really let go. And it could be very scary, it could be very difficult. And I'm not saying like to do it cold turkey, that's crazy. But I am saying that this is a constant sense of ire for you, this kind of like this circumstance, that as long as you're constantly feeding into it and being here, you're never going to fully overcome it, especially as a Page of Cups energy, especially as somebody who's more of a heart on your sleeve kind of person. There's nothing wrong with being a Page of Cups energy. It's like you just got to work with what you have. And what you have is sort of like you're very much in the now. So in order to overcome this situation, you now have to have this removed. So this could be just reducing communications with this group. This could be just doing your own thing while still maintaining this cute. Like if this is like a I don't know, like your community, and they don't support you and whatever you do in your art or your lifestyle or something like that. This is like finding a different community separate from this one that you could potentially connect to, or it could just be like doing your research on your own and figuring out stuff to do on your own, or maybe it's just like in general, just the people are just, you can't handle it. Take some alone time. You know, meditate, take walks by yourself, and meditate on the circumstances, and and sometimes maybe the difficulty of meditation is like, what do you use it for? But sometimes it's just clearing the mind. Like, that's the best. Just to take the breaths in and out, listen to nature, clear your mind, and be at calm, and then just being in that space for a bit. So, yeah. This one's a little bit intense, and because it's where the world card, it's definitely once you overcome this hurdle, once you learn to forgive this situation, whether it's forgiving a specific people or person or anything like that, or forgiving yourself for putting yourself through this because you feel like you had to. Once you finally like let that go, and forgiveness is sometimes just letting it go and let it be God, let go and be God, let God or whatever. You know, letting it back to the universe and saying, like, I don't have to invest my time into this. Whatever they do, whether it makes them happier or less happy, I am content whatever the solution is. So, yeah. And then you get to move on with your life and go on to the next chapter. Yeah. So this is an energy of, like, definitely this is holding you back. I don't know what it is. Again, my intuition, my sense is like a community or a group of friends that you probably have known for a very long time and you just can't handle anymore, and you kind of like want to cut ties, or you've already cut ties, but maybe you've cut ties with them for a while, but every time you find a new friend group, you feel like you're doing the same thing again. So it's a lot of that. Just be aware of this cycle, be aware of it consciously, and try to take actions in order to step away. I'm not saying cut it off. Five of Swords is an aggressive card. You're Cups energy. You should be more chill, more lovey-dovey. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. I really hope, this made sense and it wasn't too rambly. And, you know, there was concise instruction, or at least assistance, or it felt alleviation of some sort, because this one's a little bit on the heavier side. And I really do wish you the best. I really hope you sort this out. And see you next time. Bye. Okay. Persona. Bam. Crystal, clear the energies for me. Thank you. Hi. Pile 3. Oh, dear. I dropped something. Sorry. Pile 3, you chose the Persona card. Ooh, Persona. Ooh, Persona. It's one of my favorite game series, so if you don't know what it is, you don't have to. This deck is pretty simple. It's one of those decks that just have, like, it's sort of like a playing card deck, but it has a major arcana, so. Anyways. Healing. What do you need to heal, Pile 3? Last two piles were pretty, like, complete opposites. So let's see what you guys are. Let's see what you are. Ooh, I have to shuffle you more. Because the other ones were pretty short. Okay, we're done. Bam! Bam! Pile 3, what do they need to heal? What's the healing process? The Moon card. Ooh, Moon. Moon. Queen of Cups. Huh, Queen of Cups came up again. Interesting. Six of Swords. Oh, dearie. Knight of Wands. Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay. But this is completely different. Okay. There's an issue when you do it in order, because obviously time is an illusion. because it's like, this is almost very similar to pile 1. However, I see it as a kind of opposite energy. Yeah. If you're interested and you're like, oh, pile 1, like, I'll go through this one, but you feel like if it doesn't resonate, go to pile 1. And also, would you mind, like, messaging, hey, if you watched pile 3, pile 1, if you watch pile 1, watch pile 3, because I can't go back in time and undo. Thank you for helping. Okay. I guess I could tell you what pile 1 was about. Pile 1 was similar situation about, like, maybe a relationship or something, and that one was more like how it triggers you. Your healing process, pile 3, is almost just like to leave a specific relationship. Yeah, the strength to leave. Yeah, there's better... Okay. I don't know if it's about leaving or... Because 6 of Swords... And it's very similar. But the new ones... But then the back of the deck is very much like... Well, okay, I see what it is. Because sometimes strength is realizing your current situation is not good enough for you, and it's about moving on to find greener pastures. That's what I'm getting at. So here's the thing. Sorry, I'm just organizing that. Here's the thing. I see you. Almost every person in this readings have been this card specifically, and they've been a cup card. So I don't know if it's a bunch of water signs or something. But I've been seeing this particular pile is this Queen of Cups energy is kind of at a loss of words. Kind of like, I don't know, is kind of like this energy. Moon's about secrets. Something hidden in the dark. Now, there is a part of you that maybe you're in a current relationship, or maybe you're in a current career path, or maybe you have a certain friend that you feel like you can't really get beyond this point. Yeah. And, like, it's sort of, like, gotten stagnant, I have to say. Maybe almost intentionally on their behalf. This 6 of Swords is about moving on. It's about taking your stuff and moving. So what I'm saying is sort of like with this Ace of Cups, this strength, this 10 of Cups, this 4 of Swords, 4 of Wands, like... The back of the deck is telling you to go on a journey to pursue what you really want. You have this Ace of Cups on your side saying that you're really ready to start something new. And I think that's what's nagging you. This Moon card could be just definitely like there's something off. Something's underneath the surface, but I'm not 100% sure what. But you know that like this situation is not what you want. And what I mean by that, the Knight of Wands is a great card. Love it. Passionate, fun, but not mature. It is not, compared to like the Queen or King of Wands, which is about like they pursuing what they want because they know that's going to make them happy. The Knight of Wands is pursuing what they want because it makes them happy in the moment. So they're very much like in the moment, kind of like, oh, I'm doing my own thing. I love being around you. Maybe it's a good relationship, but it's just like not really going to the next level. And it could be because they're intentionally pushing people away. Yeah. Kind of want to see something. What was the card? Because it was a card... Sorry, I'm looking through the other deck because the way that it's so similar to a different reading, but... Oh, okay. I understand why. Again, if you want to see what I'm talking about, please go to pile 1 if you're interested. If you feel like your calling is in that direction. It could potentially. Either way. Sorry. I need a clarification of something. Either way. The Seven of Wands is about deliberately pushing people back. It's deliberately, like, perhaps it's either because it's like you gotta stand your ground, but sometimes it's about just plain old stubbornness. It's like, I want to stay here. I don't want to budge. Get away from me. So it's a pretty intense. So you could find yourself in an situation, and it doesn't have to be in a relationship. It could be like a career too. So I'll talk about both aspects. The relationship is like you want to take it to the next step, whether it being moving in together or making it serious or getting married or having a kid, whatever the next step in your relationship is. This Knight of Wands energy is just, even though they're happy in the moment and you do have fun, it just seems like there's always an excuse of why it doesn't move forward. If it's a career situation, this is definitely like, maybe it's your dream job, but you're not getting promoted, you're not getting a raise, you find you've gotten stagnant in this kind of place, you feel like stumped, almost, like you feel like you can't just keep going. So both of these scenarios, it feels like you wanted to keep going, but there's just an overwhelming, like, fact that is like, this has reached its course, and I think the best thing is to move on. Now that's a pretty intense one. Not gonna lie. Literally, I'm saying break up with your boyfriend, break up with your girlfriend, quit your job. You don't have to. However, with this Queen of Cups and this Moon card, you really got to ask yourself, has this been the first time this has been brought up, or has this been lingering for a bit under the surface? Signs have been pointing you, like, maybe I should move on. Signs have they pointing you as like, yeah, we're not moving forward, and they keep getting caught up in that. And you feel like you're ready for the next step. So, and you're, maybe with this Ace of Cups energy, you're even okay with the ideas like, I don't mind starting from square one. Because sometimes when you start from square one, you're not really starting from square one. You're starting from the beginning with experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get back to the same place in record time. So, you know, you come in with that knowledge is like, yeah, maybe I have to meet somebody new, but I already know what I want, and I know how to communicate, and the lessons I've learned last time I could carry over here. Same thing with the job. Like, I know how to, like, get promoted faster. You know, it isn't going to be as long or time-consuming as it was before, because you already have the experience when you're starting something new. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. We got that Strength card. The Strength card's about patience. Strength card is about being strong. Strength card is not giving up. But under that Strength card is the Ten of Cups, so that happiness is there. You just need to have that energy to do the Six of Swords and just move on. So, yeah. Potentially, because I could see, if you are interested in this reading, you might be, again, interested in pile one, because potentially that could lead to where you want to go next. We'll see. Again, this is your journey, but the connection, like, the cards came out very similarly. So I'm kind of like, hell, there was even an ace under the deck, so I'm kind of like, the similarity is a little bit too much that I wouldn't be surprised if pile 1 and pile 3 are just different parts of the same story. Okay. But yeah, this has run its course. You need to find out what you have to do next. And I mean, I'm not saying like do it overnight. Moon card, Strength card is not an overnight situation. But I do know, make your steps. Find your path. Moon card can be confusing, but it's right before the sun. So your goal is within sight. You just have to like trust in the process. So yeah, I'm pretty I know you could do it. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, you got it. Anything else? Yeah, I guess it's just like, you're this Queen of Cups. Do not be afraid. You already know what to do. You already know what to do. I believe in you. Like, you have the awareness to realize you're not in the best place. You could potentially find the strength to move on to the next chapter of your life. So, I believe in you. Okay. Last but not least, water. Okay. Where's my selenite? Oh, I'll just do a different crystal. Boop. Okay. Yeah, I felt it cleanse. Okay. Pile 4. Hi. Hello. Been interesting. Been all over the place. Let's see how you guys are, pile 4. Let's see. Pile 4 decision. What's not decision, but maybe it has to do with decision. But healing process. What do you need to heal? What is the next step of your healing process? What do you need to heal? What do you need to know? Let's hear it. Brit's Third Eye Tarot has some of my favorite artwork when it comes to like tarot decks. I just like that it's kind of cute and nice, but it also is like deep. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's see how this one goes. Let's see how it goes. Knight of Cups. Okay. 5 of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. High Priestess. Justice. Page of Cups. 9 of Wands. Yeah, the Page of Cups is in the back of the deck. I mean, the piles have been mostly centered around relationships, and 2 of them have been a romantic, and I think this might be also a romantic-centered one. Let me see. Honestly, I feel like you're distracting yourself. Oof, that just came out. You're distracting yourself with something that isn't meant for you. And I feel like part of you is just afraid if you were supposed to do what you're supposed to do, you would potentially do something pretty intense. Yeah. Okay, let me get through it. So here we have the 5 of Cups. Well, the order is Knight of Cups, 5 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, High Priestess, Justice. I feel like, again, I feel like I've been, for every card, I've been saying like this has been the quotient for some reason. Though I do feel like this is all you, and you're kind of like hung up on this energy. So, but like the reasoning why you're hung up on this energy is because this energy is a little too intense, because you're like a Page of Cups energy, and you're kind of like, I want to take it nice and slow, but this seems pretty heavy-handed. So what am I saying? I would say like maybe recently you had like a falling out, a breakup of some sort with somebody who's pretty decent. They're a nice person, but you can see the Knight of Cups is looking away while this 5 of Cups is still focused on this Knight of Cups. The reality of the situation, if you notice that there's 1 cup over here, is that you should probably be doing something more, like, if I'm going to say, like, focusing on yourself, working on yourself, this is the idea of, like, you're hung up with an ex, when in reality you should be focusing on your schoolwork. Now, here comes where the nuance comes in. Sometimes when something bad happens to us, but it's not like it's a breakup in this case, but it's not like a super, like maybe you broke up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you've had for like a couple of months, and you're a little bit too hyperfixated about it. Sometimes we hyperfixate on these like more immediate kind of like issues because sometimes there's something more heavy lurking underneath the surface, and we're using these kind of like, I'm not gonna say like small kind of emotions, but it's definitely like a distraction of some sorts. When heartbreak can sometimes be a distraction, and from the more heavier aspects. And I feel like there's a part of you that is aware that you're meant for greater things, for lack of nuance. This Justice card behind the High Priestess is kind of sensing like, let's say you wanted to be, I guess with the Justice card, you're in law school or something like that. There is a part of you that subconsciously or my like deep down realizes that if you were to pursue your career as a lawyer or as an attorney, that you were going to do great things. Like this was just the first step of a grandiose kind of like grand greatness or something. You know, maybe you'll be an attorney for like famous people, an attorney that helps out the underprivileged or some sort, or like you become an amazing law firm, or you know, there's this sense of like with this High Priestess energy, like you have this sixth sense that is like, me pursuing this would lead to this justice, this kind of like grand reward, just desserts kind of like situation that is like, it's sort of like a little bit too intense to think of, and maybe it's a lot closer than you think. So you're kind of like a little bit fixated on this Knight of Cups, this kind of like, oh, lost love kind of energy, because you are kind of distracting yourself from the much more important. I'm not saying like this wasn't important, but I feel like this is a little bit overblown because you were a little bit more like, you know, oh, I'm going to graduate soon and I already have I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to do amazing things. Or like, I have been pushing back this kind of like career or this sort of like retreat or business idea because I'm just sort of like, just want to just like live a little. The Page of Cups, Nine of Wands, Seven of Wands. Yeah, you have anxiety about this. You've been struggling about it for a bit. You've been tired. It's sort of like this situation was a nice distraction for you for a bit, but it's over, and you're kind of like, I wish it would have lasted longer. But the reason why it was so relaxing is because this, though it's good and honestly fulfilling, I'm not going to say it makes you happy, but I'm saying that it's very fulfilling what you're doing. You're with this work over here. But there's a part of you, this High Priestess energy. High Priestess is a fortune teller, talks about your sixth sense, talks about your intuition. So your intuition says, like, if I were to pursue this Eight of Pentacles energy, if I pursue my current career, it's going to lead to this justice, kind of like grandiose, kind of like, it's like realizing at the end of the tunnel, I'm going to have a lot of responsibility, but I'm also going to be very important. So, interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I like the fact that, like, in this Five of Cups, it's like usually a Two of Cups that is the one that is still left behind, but this is the Ace of Cups. One cup, which is just sort of like your heart is still full for the next potential. Yeah. So this energy is very giving off college student or a graduate student or somebody who has like a great business idea, or I guess it could also relate to like you kind of postponing like the work you have to do on yourself to become an amazing person, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like the potential is so immense in this reading that, because the Justice card is like peak, like career goal kind of card. Like, you know, there's the Emperor and then there's the Empress and they're in charge, but like justice is the law of the land. Like, justice is like order. I'm in charge of the order. I don't know. It just seems like the energy here is that, and you're aware of like the intensity that pursuing whatever you need to pursue has behind it. And you're kind of like, well, sometimes you don't want to think about social justice. Sometimes you just want to be with a cute person, and that cute person's not around anymore. So yeah, this is very interesting. This is also a very specific reading. But I also kind of get it. I think I've been there, kind of like using a situation ship to distract me from a more heavier, but still rewarding subject process work. So yeah. My advice. I mean, the other ones I had advice, but this one is like, yeah, you're gonna have to face it. I don't know. I mean, like, I think my advice is kind of like, this isn't totally gone. This guy over here, this person. I mean, I think it's a woman on the car. Who cares? I sense it's like, it's not other, or you could potentially find somebody else. Like, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Sorry, not to mitigate your feelings, but this is the energy of like, you're distracting yourself. So my advice is sort of like, my advice is like twofold. This doesn't mean this is going to go away forever. There's always potential for other situations to come in and bring some light into your life. And when I mean light, I don't mean like, well, I do mean like light, like heavenly, universal energy, but also do mean like lighthearted. Just something just nice and fun. But also, this is in the future. Put it away. This is just, you know, as much as we love intuition and support and sixth sense and some sort of universal connection to the truth or whatever the hell you want to, whatever is your belief system. I reached my maximum length for my last video, so I gotta edit this one in, but I'm gonna make it quick. Whatever is your last kind of like, what I was saying is like, this energy is not the here and now. So it could be heavy, but if you feel like thinking about it is weighing you down, just put it aside. That's going to be future you when you're more capable to handle it. Right now, you're just in this situation. Just was like, oh, I had a breakup, but I got to work. This whole situation, this is sort of like for future you that you shouldn't be so fixated on. And really, you are in this kind of lighthearted energy. So focus on that and stay in that energy. Anyways, I really hope it resonated. I really hope that you felt it. I really hope it made sense. And anything else, please leave a comment if this made sense at all. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.